How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of a Ghostbusters themed, hazy, hopeful goodness in the form of Hot Butcher for the World and Bottle Logic. A little bit of collab goodness. It is their relicensed nuclear accelerator. I know that they have the unlicensed one. I don't know if that one's a collab, but they do this one with Bottle Logic. I've never had this before. Really pumped to dive into it. What else we have here? It's a Galaxy Chinook and Nelson Sauvin hopped American India Pale Ale. 7% alcohol by volume. They call out, as they do on all their cans in the back, as you can see there, they call out a rape tropical, grassy pine, and juicy grapefruit. So let's dive into this sucker. Yeah. Giving it the old pour skis. You know, I out here on the East Coast, if we think of Bottle Logic, we think of stouts. So I don't know. I'm sure I probably had some Bottle Logic haze before, but this would be the first one I'm definitely reviewing. As far as label art goes, classic Jetsa style, but I mean, who doesn't like Ghostbuster stuff? Come on now. Anyway, yeah, look at that. That is dark. I mean, that looks rich. I mean, you're talking about a 7% copious hopped beer, but that looks like, you know, a little bit of malt forward, maybe a little bit oxidized. I don't know. It just got this rich, kind of dense, deep, dark kind of orange core to it. On camera, it looks like it might be coming off a little bit lighter than what I see, but I mean, it looks a little darker than what you'd typically see with these kind of hazies. So, see if we can get a nose. I mean, that's just perfectly ripened, kind of fruit medley leaning. It's like a grapefruit, pineapple, mango ripened fruit medley juice. That's kind of what you're getting on here. What do they call out on here? It's a tropical fruit, grassy pine, and juicy grapefruit. I get that without the pine, but that's probably going to be more of a taste thing. The bittering component on this, at least on the nose, no, it's kind of there. It's a little sweetened kind of pine to me. I guess that's what you would call, I would call a grass, or a sweetened pine would be what they're calling a grassy pine. So really, it's hitting a lot on the nose that it actually is calling on the back. Now, you could actually sit there and be like, oh, no shit, Sherlock, it's kind of power of suggestion. Well, that would be the case if I actually registered the shit that was on a can when I'm doing a review. I forget half the time the words that tumble out of my mouth, let alone what's written on can. So I don't think that's the case, because I think anybody would really get that from there. And while the tasting notes are fine, I never really follow those as a kind of rule when it comes to these beers. And this one just comes off a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more for me. Yeah. Let's dive in. It smells icky sticky. Let's see if it's sweet. Let's see if it's bittering. Okay. First things first. Drink's way thinner than you expect. It's not necessarily a thin beer, but thinner than you expect based off of the look, based off of how kind of sticky it is. I got a little spilt on me and it's kind of icky sticky. It's drinkable. Not thin, but drinkable. That pine characteristic is actually not the number one kind of taste you get off of it, but it's the one that carries through the whole actual gulp of the beer. This nice kind of driving pine, this little prickly kind of pineness is pretty damn cool. Kind of accentuates a little bit of that grapefruit and a little bit of that kind of citrus notes. Kind of props that kind of bittering up, that pulpiness, that rindiness up. She's more sweet than bitter. There is a little pop of dryness at the end, so it doesn't get overly sweet by any stretch of the imagination, but she is a sweet beer. It's tasty. It's nice. It's weird because it's kind of a little bit hefty, but it's also kind of light with that mouthfeel. It does give you those tropical fruits, but then it does have that pine portion of the show riding throughout the whole beer. It does taste like a cool collab because I don't know what Bottle Logic does